It is a very big day at Etihad Stadium this afternoon. The sun is shining brightly. Perfect playing conditions as the Western Bulldogs play host to the West Coast Eagles. St Kilda legend Danny Frawley alongside me. A new coach in charge of the Western Bulldogs, Spuddy and Brendan McCartney. There's a lot to look forward to today, and they're up against the big improvers from last year who are looking to take it a step further today. Brian Lake's going to be a key player for the Western Bulldogs, but boy, are they going to have their hands full with Nick Natanui and co spending plenty of time up forward. There look to be a few mismatches.
It's been a long pre-season, but the NAB Cup smoke and mirrors are over, and it's reality from now on. The Western Bulldogs and the West Coast Eagles about to move to position. But it's Matthew Nichols to throw it down. Natanui and Minson in the ruck. And season 2012 is underway for the Bulldogs and the Eagles. And Natanui, trademark, down to Scott Selwood. Pumps it long. Kennedy, 2 grabs. How's that for a start?
Just about the worst possible start from a Bulldogs perspective. They're stretched height-wise down back. And Josh Kennedy, who's barely had a run this pre-season, comes straight in, takes a contested mark. It's a massive job for Lucas Markovic to do the job on Josh Kennedy.
There's that traditional stutter step run up, but it's the result that counts. West Coast Eagles get the first. Wide. Gaff again, working both ends. Splendid tackle, dispossessed. Pickens Forte, got it from Liberatore. Rolls it inside 50, Scott Selwood. Hunts his way through half-back and spears it to Lynch. On the bounce, delivers to Marston. Open forward line. Kennedy calling for it long. Might not get there. Lake gets there. Markovic gets there. And Markovic gathers and goes. Brilliant tackle. Cox holding the ball. Too slow.
Well, you're going to have problems if you've got Ruckman running down defenders from behind in the forward line. That was just way too slow.
To continue this perfect start for the West Coast Eagles. Away from home. Goal umpire does some dancing, but it's through. West Coast have the first 2 of the afternoon.
Some support.
When you say +1, Robert, you want to explain exactly what you mean by that?
I think in any stoppage situation, the high forward will go in to man the opposition winger, and that backman will drop back to be a spare player in defence.
Kennedy from 3 deep. Oh, good hands.
Well, he doesn't look underdone at all at the moment, does he? The way he's attacking the ball.
He runs around, wastes no time, and nails it from there. Shuey, Marston, Kerr. Hasn't seen a lot of it yet, Daniel Kerr. Boyd taps it out, Cooney missed the target, hands to Scott Selwood. Kennedy's his target, good spot. Hand on it, can't mark it. It's got 3 to beat, Josh Kennedy, and beats them with a free. He ran around from here last time, some stutter steps. That is magnificent. He is white hot. Cox, second effort. Liberatore steals. Jones again the target, 2 to beat. Schofield, third man up.
You've got to separate there, the Bulldogs forwards.
Darling.
That's a good kick. That needed to be a good kick because of him feeling the groin.
If you've joined us late, Kennedy already has 3. Natanui hands it over. That's a little high. And a free kick will be taken by Ashton Hands, about a 45-degree angle, 30 metres out.
That sounds strange. It's against the flow at the moment because Tom Liberatore, last 3 clearances, has been terrific.
Oh, he's elite in there. I know he's only a young player, but his ability to read the ball in tight and as well get his hands to it first. He's so clean, and he's got very good vision with his handball as well.
See there, 25 years old, 16 career games, just 4 games last year. That's what he has ahead of him. Strikes it perfectly, and the West Coast Eagles take the lead back again. Not there, but Griffin, Williams, Gilby also not there for the Dogs today.
Oh, what a tap.
Oh, sure. Takes off and thumps it. It's a wobbler. Tough one to mark. Kennedy, fantastic.
Unbelievable football. Start with Natanui. Look at the midfield getting around Natanui. That was just elite.
But it's now getting to the stage where the change is forced because they keep isolating Kennedy on Markovic, and he's going to have 4 first-quarter goals.
And 3 votes in the Brownlow. So he's got 4, Josh Kennedy. And you heard the call, touch play on Waters. Hard ball to be gathering. Did well, Kerr. Waters. Gaff, okay. It opens up for the West Coast. Lynch, who can bang a long ball, heads to Marston instead. Time to size it up from outside 50. Wrong-footed, and it works. Kennedy.
And the reason it worked is because Josh Kennedy was watching what was happening with Chris Marston, and Markovic was watching Josh Kennedy.
For number 5 for Josh Kennedy. Unorthodox, but effective. And the West Coast Eagles are back in front. Cox rolls it to his opposite ruckman.
That's Minson. The short kick that Rodney Eade's been telling us about, and they continue to try it.
Minson, Higgins, cross, needs to get rid of it. Hill hunted him down. Advantage play.
That's the kick.
Nui one-on-one, ball to the back. Markovic knocks it through. Trying to make an impression against his old side.
Just the one disposal at the moment.
Yep. So no impression yet. Prittis, here he is on cue. Josh Hill to some booze. They haven't had a chance yet. Kennedy all the way up to the wing, so he's back on.
And it looks like Lake might be the opponent now. Good kick.
Central, Selwood. Scott looks up. He's got Gaff into space. Great release kick that.
With weight of numbers in the end. Time in the forward half, 62% the Eagles this quarter. So
had the lead a couple of times themselves. But this kick to push the margin out beyond a goal again for the West Coast. Gaff slots it. Eagles back out by 11. Cox in the ruck. Rough head. Prittis gets it back again. Kerr. Sold the dummy to a couple. Waited. Waited for the option. Huey to Gaff. Had the short if he wanted it. Goes for hands in the end. Takes off to the pocket. Tough goal to be kicking from there. Hill!
Every time they kick it long to the square, what happens? West Coast look dangerous. They either score or look likely to score. Every time they kick it short, there's a possible rebound turnover. It's frightening that it hasn't caught on with the Eagles players yet. Kick to your tools, to your strengths.
They've got the ability to rotate their key forwards to the West Coast, so you can have different options there at will.
For the boos from the Bulldog fans, that'll be music to his ears.
But Luke Darcy, was he one of them?
Oh.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was.
I just went up Darcy. I got on well with Darcy.
Saved yourself a headline there, Rodney.
Come back.
Rosa. He earned it. Liam Jones is in the goal square. And it sits up for Jones. Nat Nui's there, and Nat Nui with ease.
It was a dumb kick. The kick was actually too deep.
Dangerous kick in. Rosa cuts it off. Hargrave. Cross. Down to 45 seconds. Easton Wood backtracks. Looks for a target. Missed it. Shuey back to the square. Huge leap. Blake went up too early. Free kick to Hill.
That is just a brain fade. That is a brain fade for Brian Lake, who gets a word in the ear from Josh Hill. He'd do well to stay out of it. But they had superior numbers down back. All he had to do was bring the ball to ground, and he goes early for the speculator.
I must admit, I feel like Brendan's going through at the moment.
For his second of the quarter against his old team, West Coast Eagles lead by 13.
Was he thinking mark of the year, Spud?
He was. And he went up far too early.
And then
you could see the face plant. He knew straight away. He stayed down because he thought, I think I'm giving a free kick away here.
Barely time enough for a score from here. Probably need a silly free to get one last score for the half. Some boos ring around Etihad Stadium. Western Bulldog fans have turned out in force. But it's the West Coast Eagles who lead by 13 points at a half-time. Stick around. Rodney Eade, David King, Jason Dunstall, Danny Frawley to give you the half-time report on this one. Eagles by 13.